Have you been thinking about your retirement more lately and wondering what the best time or the best date to retire is? For a lot of people, it's really an all or nothing decision, but there's also people choosing a different way, and it's making the transition to retirement so much easier, and it's increasing their happiness too. Now, you might be imagining what it is already, but if you're thinking that a phased retirement sounds like it's not possible because of your work situation, I'm going to share examples of how clients are actually doing it and how you can do it too, even if you're an employee and your boss doesn't want it to happen or your company doesn't want it to happen. One example is from an employee whose boss actually said, no, we can't go part-time or half-time. And then we shared what she actually did. And then there's two other clients who did it a different way. So we're going to look at what's a phased retirement and then how does it work? And then what are the main benefits and versus truly or fully retiring? And then third, what are some actual examples of how people did it? And by the way, I'm Dave Zoller, owner of Streamline Financial. It's a retirement planning firm. And we've been helping people, me and my team of retirement experts, we've been helping people for the last decade and a half. And this channel is here to share what's working for those people and those retirees so that you can make your retirement even better. So on to it. What is a phased retirement? I think you can guess. It's this gradual transition from full-time work into retirement. And it's how clients reduce their working hours or their responsibilities while still maintaining some of that purpose and that income and flexibility that they get from their working career. Because a lot of times clients, and maybe you know that you don't want to keep working at the same pace that you're working right now or that you have been working the last few years. Either the stress or the frustration from work, it's continuing to grow and it might be impacting other parts of your life too. Or there are things in your life that you might want to be doing more of now that you just don't have the time for, because work is not a bad thing. And a lot of times the thing that's bad is how we work. That could be the bad thing. I spoke with a subscriber not too long ago, he and his wife. And when I asked if the stress is impacting their life at all from work, his wife jumped in right away and said, Dave, it's getting worse. It's impacting his health. He's got no time to do exercise or work or working out, and it's impacting time with me. It's actually getting worse the older that he gets. It was a wake-up call for him. It was the first time that he heard it coming from his wife. Now, what are the actual benefits of a phased retirement? There's financial reasons, and then there's also non-financial reasons. So on the money side, things like delaying portfolio withdrawals. Also, sometimes even it's this ability to continue to add to your retirement funds if you do a phased retirement. And then also higher Social Security benefits because you delay filing. Every year you wait, it's 6 to 8% that adds on to your benefit amount for Social Security. Now, for the non-financial, going cold turkey, it leads to this period like a honeymoon phase, which is just a wonderful feeling. And then often, many times, it leads to this down period or boredom phase, or sometimes it's a depression phase because it's like, is this all there is? Now, work, it often provides a sense of purpose and meaning because we're contributing to other people's lives. This idea of going half-time or part-time or finding phased retirement can continue that sense of purpose. Then also the other benefit of this is it brings us in regular contact with other people on a forced nature when we're doing this sort of phased retirement. The other thing is physical activity, right? Getting up and going and doing the work is important. Also, the routine or schedule can be a big thing as well. All those things, they're healthy. They're a good part of work. And many of those things, they do disappear if people go cold turkey in retirement, and they have to really proactively find ways to renew those things if they go cold turkey. Now, how about some tangible examples of clients who have actually practiced this and implemented it in their life? The first one is a 65-year-old, and she liked the idea of this phased retirement and going half-time or scaling back a little bit because of her high-stress job, but her job didn't allow it when she brought it up. So here's what she did. This was actually her idea, so I'm sharing what she actually did. She's a big extrovert, and one of her favorite places that she liked to be or go shopping was Trader Joe's. It's a grocery store in the Midwest. I think it's all around, but anyways, she talked to a few people who worked there, and it sounded like a nice working environment and got to know some of the people. And what she found out was this job can allow her to work for a few weeks and then take a few weeks off. And the plan was to retire and take a 3-month break and do some travel, and then start to work for part of the week and then take a few weeks off and then travel again. And there was enough flexibility there where it really made sense for her. And this helped her ease into retirement and even fund some of her bucket list trips and vacations that she wanted to do. Another client went cold turkey and he wanted to start another business with his friend. It was more of kind of like a side hobby or project. It was a money-making endeavor, which is important for tax purposes, but they wrote out the things that they did that was successful was they put their expectations down on paper ahead of time. How much work or how much time are they going to devote to this thing, to the new business? What were the non-negotiables, right? What's the business plan? How much are they going to invest in it if they need to invest when it comes to the money side? They launched together and they're having a great time doing it together because they get to focus on, they know what they do best and they're focusing on their strengths. It's that idea of what are the things that are fascinating and motivating to you? Continue to do those things in retirement. A lot of times it can be a money-making endeavor. And it's not that they are trying to, the money part is a piece of it, but it's not like they're trying to make a certain amount. It's really, one of the benefits is the tax deductibility. They can actually deduct some of their lifestyle because they have this business that they've started. Now, I've got one more example of a client who went into phased retirement, but I'd love to hear if you like these examples or this type of video. If you do, give it a like and then share it with a friend too. Maybe the friend that you want to go start a mini business with in retirement. The next example, it's of a business owner, and the stress of the business was getting harder and harder, it seemed, the older he got into his 60s. But rather than sell his business and just go cold turkey, he focused on the area of the business that he enjoyed the most, the thing that was the most fascinating and motivating to him. He wrote down the 6 parts of the business. It's marketing, sales, product, operations, finance, and then the people management. And through self-reflection, through writing and journaling, he really knew or understood he liked the people part of it the most, the coaching and the leading of the team. And what he did, he spent time hiring from within and promoting people within the company. And then he also found some people outside the company to help him take over other parts of the business. And what happened was people started reporting to him as the business owner. He kind of moved out of the employee. A lot of times business owners say they're owners, but they're really employees. He became a true owner, and he was able to greatly reduce his working hours. He also reduced his profit a lot and his take-home pay quite a bit, but that was worth it. It was a great trade for him as he went into this phased retirement. He went from working 50 hours a week to working 15 hours a week. And he kept control of his asset and most of the equity, and his stress went down a whole bunch and his happiness levels went up a whole bunch. And his advice to anybody thinking about this who is a business owner, and it could be non-business owners too, it's to create a do not do list. What are the things that you don't love doing? Just quickly, a do not do list. It's as simple, but it's a powerful tool to help you just intentionally identify and then set aside activities that drain your time. What are the things that drain your energy? And then it makes room for things that really add energy to you. So to get started, take a step back and then look at the tasks that you did over the last week or maybe over the last day. What are the things that drain your energy? What are the things that you really love doing? Think about those 6 parts of the business: marketing, sales, the product or the service delivery, and then operations, finance, or people management. Where do you want to spend most of your time? What do you like the most? And then speaking of a do not do list, check out this video of the 9 things to stop doing in your 50s if you're in your 50s or 60s. It's advice from other retirees. And then take a minute and then think, does my retirement have to be all or nothing? Maybe there's a blended approach. And if this video was helpful, give it a like, and then I'll see you in the next video somewhere here. Take care.